Good morning, all of you. Today, we are going to talk about TELI. TELI means Teaching of English Literature in India. But before we talk about literature, let us look at the role and function of the teacher of English. As all of you know, a teacher who teaches English commands a great respect from the learners, not only from the learners, but from the people of the society as well. Now, they are the teachers who teach English, they are directly related to the process of teaching English literature. As we all know, English came to India, or rather it was brought to India by the British. Now, in the early phase, the Britishers wanted to establish some kind of relation with the native Indians. For this purpose, they wanted a link language or a language which could make their ideas understood by the natives. They tried to spread the knowledge of English. Another motive behind teaching of English was to produce a class of the natives who were eager to learn their language and to work for them in the capacity of assistants, office assistants, or we can say clerks, or in our language we can say babus. And we find that in the beginning, they were not capable of learning it quite fast, but somehow they managed to learn the language of the British. Now, another object or another intention was to change their liking for the British culture. They should be, in the color of the skin, they can be Indians, but in their mentality, they should be just like the people who were ready to copy the British culture, English in taste, but Indian in color. Now, this was the aim of the Britishers. Now, they were successful to some extent because those Indians who could speak little bit of English, they started considering themselves superior to the other natives. Now, in 1856, 3 presidency colleges were started in Kolkata, at that time Calcutta, Madras, and Mumbai. Now, these colleges were meant to give the knowledge or to impart the knowledge of English to all those who were interested in learning this language. Many people were enthusiastic enough to learn English. One thing we should keep in mind that the syllabi of English courses did not contain the texts relevant to Indian culture, but the rulers wanted to impose upon them the texts written by the authors like Chaucer, Spenser, Milton, Shakespeare, and many others. Now, their aim was to make them believe that the writers who wrote in English or the Western authors were certainly advanced in their ideas, and they had a good command of English, and they wanted to give this impression that the texts written by the English authors were the best. Now, gradually, this concept started changing. And we can say that when we talk about teaching of English, and especially English literature, we find that there are 4 stages: that of colonialism, then nationalism, independence, post-colonial, or neo-colonial. Now, Britishers established their colony in India. They wielded the political power. Administration was in their hands, and therefore they just tried to make the knowledge of English widespread. And because of that, their main aim was to teach English literature. Now, all those people who opted for the subject, now it was taught as a subject, you can say. It was an academic subject as well as a language, as well as a tool for helping the government to do their works. Now, English played many roles, or you can say English for use. English was used for a wide variety of tasks. But when we talk about literature, and we talk about the stage of colonialism, we find that the British wanted to impose their culture, their ideology, their thinking on the educated Indians, or the Indians who wanted to get education in English. Now, these people were taught the English, the texts written by British authors or English authors, and because of that, they considered themselves highly educated because they did not consider the others to be equal to them. Those who were the masses, who formed the millions of Indians, they were not as educated as the elite or the best. So there was a kind of formation of classes. There were those who were educated, who were taught, who learnt English literature, and therefore they considered themselves to be superior to those who did not know or hardly knew English language, leave aside English literature. Now, this was a phase or a stage when the mindset was affected by the works written by the English authors. Or you can say it was a kind of process of westernization, and these Indians who were taught English literature, they were influenced by the ideas of the Western writers. And then came the stage of nationalism. Many universities were started, and this was the time of about from 1900 to 1950, and there were many opportunities grabbed by the Indians who wanted to teach English literature, because English literature was taught as an optional subject and the medium was also English. So they just tried to make good of this opportunity, and they tried to take up the position of teachers of English in different universities. Now, they were very proud of themselves because they were teachers of English, and as I told you in the beginning, the teachers were given great respect. They were looked as if they were different or extraordinary because they were teachers of English. Now, one good advantage of teaching English or English texts was that these teachers got an opportunity to know the ideas of the Englishmen and their love of liberty, love for freedom, and therefore they came to realize that their condition was worse than the condition of those who lived in the West. So a kind of nationalistic feeling started springing in them, and they tried to spread this feeling, nationalist, the feeling for nation, and they started spreading this feeling among other Indians in their own way. And they started realizing that their own culture, their own works, the books written by Indian authors about the country, about the conditions of the countrymen, were also to be paid attention to. So we can say that instead of working in favor of the British, this same teaching of English, aroused a feeling for the nation, or you can say patriotic feelings among the teachers of English and those who came in their contact. So we find that this stage was very important stage because in this period we find many writers, not only the British, but even the Indian writers like Mulk Raj Anand and Raja Roy. Now, all these people, they started describing the pathetic condition of the poor Indians governed by the British. And therefore, this teaching of literature helped the Indians in an indirect way to crave for, to demand for their own freedom or independence. Then came the stage of independence. People started writing in volumes about the necessity of demanding independence. We can say, had there not been the knowledge of English, the Indians would not have struggled for their independence, because India was divided in different small states governed by different small rulers, and the language difference was also very great. So English worked as a unifying factor, and many people began to know the opinions of their fellow countrymen, and they all decided to fight in a united way and to drive away the foreign rulers. One more thing which proved to be of great benefit was that English, or you can say the knowledge of English, helped the Indians to let the whole world know about the injustice done to them in different spheres by the foreign rulers. So in a way, it mobilized the freedom struggle, or you can say it motivated the Indians to fight for their freedom, and ultimately India got its independence from the foreign yoke in 1947. So thus we can say that teaching of English, and especially English literature, proved to be a blessing in disguise. Now, whatever the aim of the foreign rulers was, but it worked or it affected them in an adverse manner. And ultimately, India got its independence. Now came the post-colonial or the neo-colonial stage. Now, as long as they were here, we blamed them for our condition. But once they were no more the rulers, it was the responsibility of the Indians to take the nation ahead. Now, the major problem, there were many problems, of course, but one of the major problems was to place Hindi or one unifying language which would be used by Indians all over the country. We know that there were many discussions, many debates, and many commissions about the language policy. And we find that after independence, we tried to put Hindi accept Hindi as a national language, but the people of southern India were not willing to do so, because they considered that it was difficult for them to learn and understand Hindi, and they were not ready to replace English by Hindi. Now, in spite of all this, Hindi was declared as a national language, and English continued to be the official language, or it continued to be used for administrative work. Now, as English continued to be used, it was desired by a majority of Indians, those who wanted to be educated, to learn this language. And the best method which they thought to learn this language was to learn it through English literature. By this time, a corpus of writing by the Indians was ready, and though there were many writers like Nassim Ezekiel, or you can say Aurobindo, Toru Dutt, and many others, Sarojini Naidu, and many others who were ready with their works in English, and therefore a subject, or you can say a particular canon of Indian writing in English came out, or you can say that it was introduced. In the beginning, it was just introduced as an optional paper, one paper which students could opt for, and we find that it is gaining ground, and more works written by the Indians about India, about Indian culture, about Indian philosophy, about Indian ideology are being published more and more. So the time has changed, and there is a great change in the field of economy, in the field of commerce, in the field of technology, and we find that even today, in this age of globalization, the importance or significance of English has not lessened or has not become less, but more and more people want to learn this language, because this language is associated with a status in society. Not only this, it is also associated with getting good job opportunities, not only in India, but all over the world. And therefore, we come across centers which claim to teach English in 60 days, or some even claim to teach it in 60 hours. I won't talk about the truth in these in these claims, but it is a fact that in spite of about 65 years, more than 65 years of independence, we have not been able to just wipe out the knowledge of this subject. Rather, it has increased, its popularity has increased because English has established itself as the international language or the language of trade and industry. And therefore, we can say that English is considered to be one of the important or major foreign languages, and the Indians find it easy to learn English because of our connection with it for such a long time. And because of the influence of the global market, English has retained its prestigious position. Another reason for the change in our attitude towards English or English literature is the impact of critical theories. Now we say, earlier it was author-centered. Nowadays it is reader-centered. Now it depends on the interest of the readers which kind of books they want to read. Whether the readers are interested in particular books written in particular style, though it is English language, but the readers want a particular kind of content. Now, depends on the variety of readers, and now the writers have to cater for the tastes of the readers. And therefore, we cannot say that the same good old authors that were taught in the syllabi of English literature, the syllabi of different universities, will remain the same? No. There has been a considerable change because it has to prove useful for the changing time and the change in the choices and tastes of the readers. And therefore, we find that teaching of literature has not remained the same. It is changing with the changing time. But it is a fact that even today, students want to opt for English literature with an aim of getting some opportunity to earn money, to earn respect in society, to be considered the best, or you can say better than others, if not the best, at least better than others. And because of it, they, to be students of literature, and we find that most of a majority of women, they are interested in learning English literature because they want to take up good opportunities as far as their careers are concerned, and they also want to enter the various fields in which only males were considered to be capable of. Now, this is the situation as far as the teaching of English literature is concerned. As literature, English literature taught in India. Now we'll talk about the problems that crop up while we teach English literature. Now, what are the problems? That this area needs some special thought, and we will certainly look at those problems that are there when we teach literature, English literature, in a country.